Hello, welcome back to another Business Math B presentation. Today we're going to be talking about gross and net profit, also the selling price. This you'll find in your Project 4. And yesterday's presentation was on supply and demand. That is a portion of Project 4A also. And a nice little picture of a businessman moving with his selling price and profits. So as you know, in any business, the simplest and most effective way to fluctuate your earned income is to change your product. You need to be careful because if you make your price too high, that might scare off clients and decrease your customers. Increasing your product price at the right time can increase your profit extensively. The definition of a selling price is the price at which something is offered for sale, or the asking price. And the definition of profit is the difference between the amount earned and the amount spent in buying, operating, or producing something. I'm going to add to that the definition of gross and net profit. The gross profit is all of the earned income before you subtract the expenses. And then the net profit is the profit that's made after the expenses have been subtracted. So I'm going to go over the first example on Project 4, page 3. We already covered the supply and demand information yesterday, page 2. Okay, this spreadsheet is about forecasted and sales prices and then what your net profit is, possible net profit. So I'm going to review what each of these words or terms are. Some of them are kind of logical. I mean, we kind of know what the selling price is. That's how much something is for sale. We kind of know that. We use those words in our conversation, in our daily life. Forecasted sales. We don't always use that, but we hear about the weather forecast. And that's attempting to predict what the future is going to have. So forecasted as sales is a prediction as to what they think the sales is. That doesn't mean it'll happen, but it is a forecast sales. Fixed costs are the ones that are the same per month. Fixed cost per unit is the actual product that you're selling, how much it costs per unit. Variable costs per unit are things that vary. Change. Total cost per unit is adding the fixed and the variable cost. Gross sales are, like I said, everything that comes in, all the income that comes in, all that you sold. And then the possible net profit is all that you sold minus all of the costs, expenses, and then that would be your possible net profit. So here are the formulas for these. To find out your fixed cost per unit, you actually take all of your fixed costs and divide it by the forecasted sales. So to find out how much one of them cost, we took the fixed cost for all of them, which was $85,000, and we divided by the amount that we sold, which was $9,000. So it cost $944 per unit. Okay, I'm looking here to see where that is an example of. That is an example of line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Line 5. Okay. Now on the same page, we're going to do another example. We're going to look at how much the total costs are. Looks like we're going with line 5 again for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So basically we just take the fixed costs, we add it to the variable costs, and that gets our total cost per unit. That was pretty basic. Our profit, remember, is going to come from subtracting total sales, or gross sales, and the total costs. And remember, total costs, that's all the costs, is going to be how much it costs per unit times how many we're going to sell. So now let's go to a couple more examples here. So remember we said to get your total costs, you can take the cost per unit and the projected sales. So our total cost is $12.44. Again, we're on line 5. And our forecasted sales are 9,000. So when you multiply those, you're going to get the total cost. Okay, let's work ahead here. Gross sales minus the total cost equals the net profit. So when you subtract these, this is the amount you get. Okay. Now I want you to watch a couple of these video clips. They're really interesting. And they're usually 3 to 5 minutes long. They'll just give you a little more insight on selling price and profit. I actually am working on trying to figure out a way to be able to present these during my presentation time. They're made by professional companies, and they're just very, very informative. They give you more insight into running your own business. As you can see, though, I'm recording. Adobe has to have an interface to basically work with these video clips. So hopefully in the near future we'll be doing that. And if you're watching this as a live session, as soon as I stop the recording, I'll be doing a poll in the class. And once you've answered your poll questions, then I'll give you participation credit. If you're watching this link as a recorded link, I want you to remember that this email address is where you're going to email your completed 5 questions. And these are the 5 questions that you'll need to answer. You can also find all of this information right where you found this link. It's in your announcements under participation requirements. Okay, so right below the links, you'll see a red link, and that is actually this document. You need to open it up and then under File, download it to your computer, and you could type on it and email it to me then. Okay, thank you for coming to this short lesson on the basics of selling prices and profits. If you have any questions, feel free to message, give me a call, or jump into another Adobe session. Have a great day.